All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to the Plugged In with PCNA series. We've got a great segment for you today where we'll focus on our commitment to sustainability and social responsibility. I'm Holly Brown, the Chief Revenue Officer for PCNA, and I'm looking forward to spending the next hour with each of you. For those of you joining us for the first time, and as a reminder for the rest of you, we developed the Plugged In with PCNA platform last spring, and it was really designed to keep you informed on current and future trends, as well as provide you with information and tools to help you sell to your customers. Included in this platform that's specifically focused on each of you, our most valued customers, are exclusive webinars, targeted emails, early access to sales tools, trend reports, and more. This is all designed to keep you one step ahead of the current and future trends in the promo space. We truly value our partnership with each of you because when you succeed, we succeed. And we hope that you find value in the content that we're going to share with you today to help you grow your business. So a little later in the presentation, you're going to hear from my esteemed colleagues in a panel discussion all around the way that we design our products. And if we go to the next slide, at PCNA, sustainability and social responsibility is really more than a trend. They've become an ingrained way of how we do business each and every day. From consumers to corporations, the focus on sustainable business practices has never been greater. Whether it's sustainably made products or transparency in the supply chain, finding ways to make a difference matters now more than ever. And that's why I am so excited to share a sneak peek with all of you on the journey that we're on with this next video clip. We'll actually be rolling out a campaign in the coming weeks, but we wanted you to be the first to know the path that we're on.
What does environmental and social responsibility mean to you? At PCNA, it's what drives our business and provides a path for distributors and customers to easily fulfill their own responsibility promises. As the industry leader, we've created the most diverse collection of eco-friendly promotional products. We've partnered with the best assortment of responsible retail brands and joined 1% for the planet. By 2025, our goal is a 50% reduction in carbon emissions and 100% supply chain transparency. To further our commitment, PCNA is pleased to introduce ProudPath. ProudPath is a bold demonstration of our passion for environmental and social change. It's our way of standing up for what's right, of doing everything in our power to ensure we are all conducting business with the highest sensitivity to a responsible future. PCNA is on a proud path. Together, this journey will be transformational.
I am so excited to share this with you guys. So you might ask, how did we get on this path? Well, we started by building the largest, most diverse collection of eco-friendly promotional products, and through a partnership with 1% for the Planet, donating a portion of these sales to nonprofits. Then we teamed up with partners who share our commitments, building the industry's most expansive portfolio of environmentally and socially responsible retail brands, from certified B Corps to forward-thinking companies creating circular supply chains. We've reduced packaging on the factory floor, and we've earned Forest Stewardship Council Chain of Custody certification in several of our facilities, which traces the path to FSC certified products from forests through the supply chain, ensuring you they're from responsibly managed forests. And now we offer the ability to deliver your orders with UPS carbon neutral shipping. As we've continued our digital journey, we're now able to deliver more vibrant decoration, fine detail, and color matching. Digital decoration actually eliminates the need for screens and water and the solvents involved in cleaning. This process also eliminates waste by dispensing the precise amount of ink needed for each brand impression. Sustainability is just one part of our commitment, but we're also working to be more socially responsible because together we can all accomplish more. So this month, we have committed to donate up to 1% of our revenues for Ukrainian relief. Please know that each of you are helping in the Ukrainian relief efforts for the refugees with every order that we ship together. So I thank you for that. And with your help, we've already made a difference. These are just some of the highlights you see on this slide, and this continues to grow as we expand our offerings. So thank you for your help. Together, we've planted 1 million trees, we've provided 8,500 people with clean water, and we've upcycled over 12 million bottles. And this is actually the perfect lead into a video that I'd like to share with all of you from one of our partners, One Tree Planet. After the video, I'm going to hand it over to Kate Boyce, who will moderate our panel discussion this afternoon. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Cassandra, and I'm the Customer Service Manager here at One Tree Planted.
One Tree Planted is a nonprofit organization on a mission to make it simple for anyone to help the environment by planting trees. Our projects span the globe and are done in partnership with local communities and knowledgeable experts to create an impact for nature, people, and wildlife. Reforestation helps to rebuild forests after fires and floods, provide jobs for social impact, and restore biodiversity. Many projects have overlapping objectives, creating a combination of benefits that contribute to the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. Beyond such projects, we believe that engaging people who want to have a personal experience with reforestation is critical to raising awareness through action. That's why we also organize volunteer events, create educational materials, and provide creative ways for businesses to give back to nature. By focusing on collaborative sustainability from the ground up, we hope to make a lasting and positive difference for the planet. None of our efforts would be possible without the support of our business partners. PCNA's distributors have been supporting us since 2020, and together we are planting over 180,000 trees. These trees have been predominantly planted in British Columbia and the rest of the Pacific Northwest in support of forest fire recovery efforts and to benefit the southern resident killer whale. Over the past few years, it has been hard to deny that forest fires have become larger, stronger, and more frequent than ever. While forest fires are part of Mother Nature's process, their increasing severity around the world is leading to a significant negative impact on the planet. British Columbia, Canada, was no exception to this. 2017 was a disastrous year for their forests, where the province saw wildfires spread over 1.2 million hectares of land. The trees planted by PCNA's distributors are helping reforest areas where natural regeneration is unlikely to occur due to the severity of the fires. By building back up strong, healthy forests, the land is prevented from being overtaken by brush, which has a much lower ecological value and likely to burn again. Replanting these forests also prevents a whole mess of problems such as soil erosion, water runoff, and loss of wildlife habitat. You're also supporting local indigenous communities who have seen their ability to hunt and gather food drastically altered, and ranchers who have seen the grazing potential for their cattle reduced where the forest and grasslands burned. Some notable animal species that will thank you for the trees are moose, black and grizzly bears, and wolves. Speaking of animals, you've also been planting trees to help benefit the southern resident orcas, often referred to as killer whales. Swimming the waters off the coast of North America from California to British Columbia, the black and white whales are one of the most recognizable and beloved marine animals in the world. However, their main food source, the Chinook salmon, is dwindling. Although it may seem unlikely, planting trees can help boost the local salmon population, in turn strengthening the orca population. Human interference such as dams, overfishing, pollution, and highway construction are all impeding the salmon's ability to spawn and survive. Not to mention the impact climate change is having on rising water temperatures. Tree planting and restoring riparian zones across the Pacific Northwest is a simple and effective solution to repair some of the damage that has been done, protecting salmon stocks and ensuring the orca can rely on Chinook salmon for years to come. Planting trees helps improve water quality, which lessens the amount of pollutants the salmon absorb then pass along to the orcas. As trees grow, they solidify the water banks, preventing them from eroding and leading to a cleaner water source, which create better spawning conditions for the salmon. The tree canopy provides shade over the spawning grounds, keeping water cool, and the falling leaves and needles create habitat for insects that the salmon feed on. These trees support a complex ecosystem which ultimately serves to increase the orca population, keeping these iconic animals around for years to come. The trees you are planting are supporting life up and down the coast, and for this, our team thanks you. We're thrilled to be working with all of you and excited to keep working together towards a greener world.
Good afternoon. Well, thanks, Holly, for the introduction. And I'd like to just kind of kick this off. As Holly said, at PCNA, we're on a journey, and we are establishing ourselves as the leader in sustainability and social responsibility. But I'd like to say this isn't new to PCNA. We introduced sustainable products over a decade ago. And then in 2019, we took a position that this would be at the foundation of our assortment, well ahead of the industry. The PCNA difference is really that we have sustainable solutions across all of our product categories, all of the categories that are important to your customers. Our esteemed product development team is why we've been able to establish this leadership position in both products and retail brands. They're experts across trends, as well as how to bring sustainable products to market. With that, I couldn't be more excited to have the privilege of introducing you to some of the key members of that team and to talk to them for some more insights about why and how we bring these products and retail brands to you. Our panelists today are AJ Dixon, Senior Category Director, Liz Tracy, Senior Product Designer, and Priscilla Castro, Director of Global Product Development and Sourcing. So AJ, I'm going to kick it off with you. Big picture, what's happening in the market that's driving our long-term commitment to sustainable products?
Thanks, Kate. So yeah, I'd say there are a couple major factors in this. As Holly mentioned, this isn't just a trend anymore. This isn't like a little niche, little category segment that we're going after. It really has been a seismic shift in both how companies operate and how people are living, and kind of one is driving the other, right? So the purchasing choices that people have, the values that they have are helping change companies, and vice versa. Companies are changing to help service. But really the first thing that's driving our commitment is pretty simple. As Holly mentioned earlier, we just believe it's the right thing to do. We believe in corporate social responsibility, and as one of the largest suppliers in this industry, we feel that we have a responsibility, and we're in a unique position to really do some good, with the size that we have, and set a good example. We have an amazing team in place, some of which you'll hear today to make it happen. But the other big change is certainly the workforce. And we've talked about this before. There's a huge shift in workplace demographics. And with that is the rise of Gen Z and the rise of millennials, and that being a big part of the workforce. And we just can't ignore that, as much as we may be tired of hearing it a little bit. We just can't ignore the impact that they're having, and buying behaviors of these demographics are certainly different. And that's been changed by, really a changing set of priorities and value. And we don't see it in only what they buy and the choices that they're making, but where they want to work, right? Like how they want to live, this idea of a better workplace and life balance. They want to work for companies that value people over profit. And that's something that we certainly believe in, is really valuing the people that we work with and that work for us. So and that really trickles into what we do and what you do as distributors is, really every company out there anymore, just like ours, has some sort of sustainability initiative. And we need to be able to support that. And promotional products are certainly something that is one of those supporting factors. But the one thing I will point out is that there's kind of something else going on right now that's the major unlock here, is accessibility to these products. My 75-year-old mother who loves Target, she will spend hours just roaming Target. It's her favorite place to be to get out of the house. She sent me an article the other day because she knows I'm really interested in this. It was about Target's new Zero initiative, about a lot of the changes that they just announced that we have actually already been process of. But she was telling me about this concept of refillable shampoos and soaps. And she just loved that idea. And a lot of people who are really into this will tell you that's been available for years. But this idea that you have a major company that is making something so unique, more available and accessible to people is a major unlock in this initiative. And that certainly is what we aim to do, is to offer a wide range of products across a wide range of products or price points and make them more accessible to you. So whether you need 1,000 premium backpacks from a retail brand for your sales force, or 20,000 eco-friendly blankets to reward frontline workers that have been working so hard over the last 18 months, or 60,000 convention totes, right? There's an option out there that we have available in deep stock, and we can get out to you no matter what the initiative is. And that's the big change right now in how we're addressing this market is deep stock, available product across every price point.
So AJ, thank you. And that concept of accessibility is so important. And it really drives into the next question, where retail brands have always been a really important part of the PCNA offering. So we're bringing these brands and making them accessible in the corporate industry. How does that part of our sustainability strategy?
Yeah, it certainly is a big part. Anybody that knows me knows I love brands. I love working with brands, developing brands. But this has really always been a part of PCNA's DNA, which I think I believe really sets us apart and differentiates us in the market. It's something that's always been important to us because it's important to you. Is like Kate said, or like you said, is accessibility is paramount. And we know that brands have always been in demand from this industry, but they're not always the most accessible. Let's be honest, this industry can be a little bit difficult to serve with, artwork and decorating and everything else. And most of these brands really struggle to do it themselves. So they partner with somebody like PCNA to make it more accessible. So it certainly is going to continue to be a key part of our strategy. And, they're a key part of our vision for a couple of reasons, is that we really want to work with brands that really share our values and our commitment to corporate social responsibility and environmental responsibility. And the other reality about this is that they're going to continue to be a key part of our key part of our vision, because a lot of these more sustainable brands are driving a lot of the growth at retail right now. These are simply the hot brands in the market, in the industry that customers want, that the end users want, that you want more access to. So, this shift in kind of some of the people that we're partnering with is certainly going to be something that we continue to see develop and evolve as we go through the years. But we really want to partner with these brands that share that commitment, just like we are. And I think something more specific, one thing that's really interesting with a lot of the brands that we've been partnering with is that we're starting to see a lot more specific requests coming from our distributors, specifically around something like certified B Corps, which is something maybe a year ago in this industry we never really would have heard about. But fortunately, we had already been partnering with some of these brands and seeing this the importance around sustainability and corporate social responsibility. So speaking specifically to certified B Corps, we actually already have 5 in our portfolio, covering a wide range of categories. So whether that's Tentree and apparel, or Bellroy and bags, canteen and drinkware. We even just recently launched Karst in stationery, which is just an awesome, cool new brand that we just brought to market. Again, making it more accessible to our customers, as well as a couple exciting new ones that are coming out in the next month or so, Dayal in bags and Hylana in blankets. So again, just making sure that we have brands that are accessible, that have a great story to our customers.
Thanks, AJ. So I'd like to shift back a little bit to our own products. We have incredible brands, but we have incredible products that we design and we bring to life. So Liz, as a senior product designer, you and your team are responsible for determining the eco assortment direction and really bringing that vision to life. Can you talk to us a little bit about how that's done?
Sure, Kate. So for as long as I can remember, we've been doing trend reports, and I won't get into how long that is. It's a long time. And really within the last several years, there's been a big focus on, adding recycled materials and sustainable materials to the trend report. And it's really just about staying on top of innovations, what's happening across industries, from footwear, apparel, to home goods, to packaging. New materials are being developed all the time. So we follow trend sites, blogs, industry publications closely for news and information. And then that information is curated into the trend report, into specific material pages that get shared with the team. But honestly, the entire PD team is highly focused on sustainability and are proactive about finding and accessing new materials, even working with material suppliers directly to get access to the newest materials with all the necessary certifications, and to help us develop new options, colors, finishes across all price points that work for us and for the industry. Because really, that's what's important. I'll give you an example. This past year, Nicole Kaiser worked with her team to source new plant-based leathers to be used in journals and stationery. And what's really amazing is, Kevin, next slide, is where we are right now with over 20 different kinds of recycled or renewable materials in our line right now across every product category. And all of that is contributing to 1% for the planet. I know that inspires me and makes me really proud. But it's really more than just having the largest assortment. It's having the most innovative, forward-thinking products that we can bring you. We really are in tandem with what's happening at retail, and in some cases, we're out in front. I just read an article about this week about the 14 sustainable materials to really watch for in 2022. And when I went through the article, I was so surprised. We're already using 10 of those materials now. We have those in line, and 3 of them we have in the works, hopefully launching later this year or early 2023. You know, cork, bamboo, wheat straw, recycled and organic cotton, hemp, bioplastics. We're using all of those materials right now. Those are all in line right now.
Liz, that's absolutely incredible. Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, so, you know, traditionally, weaves and deniers in fabrics that we use in making bags and other things were only available in traditional polyesters. And now what we're seeing is a much wider variety of those weaves and deniers being made available in our PET versions. So for example, the new Field & Company collection, Fireside collection, uses a really beautiful 500D and a dark heather gray, and it gives the collection a rugged vintage look. And this RPET was the perfect fit for the brand, and it allowed us to create our first EcoSmart collection for Field & Company. And then we're also seeing, you know, that there's certain materials that are just a natural fit, no pun intended, for certain categories. Natural materials are continuing to be a huge trend in housewares, desktop, and even technology. You know, people want to have more natural materials around them in their homes, in their workspaces, to maintain that connection to nature, which all makes us feel better. So materials like bamboo, bamboo fiber, limestone and cork, and housewares tech are a perfect fit for this trend. And we'll continue to add more bamboo and cork, and now stone in the Set in Stone collection. The Set in Stone collection uses limestone and cork, replacing single-use plastic. This is right in line with what we're seeing in retail right now, and with companies like Crate & Barrel, and really forward-thinking, looking, you know, really on-trend materials.
Thanks, Liz. So, as I said in the beginning, not only is product essential to this journey, but it's also how we come to market. So, Priscilla, as a sourcing director, you and your team partner with the design group and our overseas partners to not only bring these products to life, but to ensure that all aspects of the go-to-market are focused on sustainability and social responsibility. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Unmute. I'm sorry. Absolutely, Kate. At PCNA, we have been seeing the huge uptake, not only in the demand for sustainable products, we also saw an increase in our customers wanting to know what our practices and the impact they have on the environment. Going forward, the trend is that traceability, transparency, and the end of cycle recyclability will all be the greater purchasing motivations. Firstly, from a raw material sourcing standpoint, we take every single step possible to ensure all our raw materials are obtained through the most responsible and sustainable methods. At Trimark, the recycled content we use are either polyester or nylon, and we use that from everything from our main fabrics, linings, insulations, to zipper tapes, buttons, and our new labels, which all have been certified by GRS. The mills that we purchase our fabrics and trims from have Oeko-Tex certification, which ensures that there has been no use of harmful substances, and its scope covers everything from the fibers to the finished garment. Around 50% of our apparel uses Blue Sign approved fabrics, and that standard examines the entire production process in terms of its impact on the environment and human health. It looks at resources like water and energy that were used in production, and also the occupational health and safety to protect workers. In order to increase the visibility of our sustainable styles, we have developed a new on-garment labeling, which includes a new neck tape and pinch label, both made from recycled material and delivering the PCNA message of better for the planet. We have also updated our hang tags to provide the end user with a greater understanding of what makes the style sustainable. To complete our commitment to sustainability, going forward, all our packaging and supporting materials will be sustainable. Poly bags will be recyclable and biodegradable. Our shipping cartons will incorporate recycled content. Carton markings will be printed with eco-friendly ink. We are also introducing a new bio-based compostable and reusable mailer bag, which will be used in place of cartons when we ship smaller orders. At PCNA, we're very clear about who we want to be and where we're going, and that's reflected in every decision we make.
Thanks, Pete. So sticking with the theme of the larger impact, Liz, at PCNA, we just launched a line of bags made with a sustainable material that some of the world's most recognizable brands are using. Can you talk to us a little bit about what makes Reprieve Our Ocean so interesting?
Right, Kate. So Reprieve is the world's #1 brand of recycled performance fiber. It's made from 100% recycled materials. It's third-party certified and traceable. It's used by everyone from Patagonia, Land's End, Ford, and Tentree, just to name some of the brands using the original Reprieve material. Reprieve is made by Unified, a North Carolina-based company. And they found that consumers had an increase in interest in helping keep plastic from getting into our waterways and our oceans. So in 2019, they launched Our Ocean. And it collects plastic from high-risk areas within 50 kilometers or 31 miles of coastlines where plastic is at high risk of getting into the ocean. And they use that collected plastic to make Our Ocean fiber and materials. Tom's and Nixon are just two of the brands currently using the Our Ocean material in their product lines. So we were able to work with Reprieve and our suppliers and factories to develop and design our own collection of bags, allowing us to hit really good price points using the Our Ocean material to develop styles that are super functional and on trend. And each item will include the Reprieve Our Ocean tag, making sure that the end user knows the story of the material.
What a great example of truly being ahead of the industry and directly in line with retail. So Liz and Priscilla have talked a lot about materials and how we come to market, and a lot of the incredible work that's being done. So AJ, why does this matter for our distributors?
That's a great question. So you can probably tell in listening to Liz and Priscilla that it takes a lot of work to do this right. So from development to design to sourcing, it really does take, a good team of talented people doing a lot of really hard work, planning, preparation, and follow through to really do it the right way. And I can't stress that enough. I feel very passionate about this, is that it does take a lot of work, and there's a lot of value there when you do it the right way. Because at the end of the day, there is so much greenwashing out there. It does drive me nuts, whether, and I'm not just speaking about this industry, it really is across really all industries. There's still a lot of people trying to take advantage of this and kind of recognize this as a trend and not a commitment, kind of the same way that we are. People skip the third-party certifications that Priscilla and Liz had just talked about. Factories, people will take the factory's word that the bamboo or the paper is responsibly sourced without doing the work into it, and they can slap a word about being environmentally conscious or eco onto it without actually doing the work. We've been doing the work beyond the product, and Priscilla got into that, is we're reducing excessive packaging, we're moving our packaging to be FSC certified, and Priscilla said, which one of the most amazing things is moving bags to being poly bags to being recycled and mailers to be biodegradable. There's not a lot of people out there doing it that way. And again, looking at it from beginning to end. And that's why it matters to you, is that you want to be confident that what you're selling is safe and what you're saying is true. Because I know you're working with a lot of big customers, a lot of big clients who are going to push you on this and going to be asking you questions. You don't want to have to propose a product and then go back and say, yeah, we're not really sure if the claims we're making are true. Is that again, we want you to be confident in that. We want you to know that if we're selling a recycled product, that we have the GRS certification to back it up. We went this extra mile. We keep talking about FSC. It's a lot of work to get FSC certified. But by doing that, we got our facilities in Pittsburgh, Miami, and Charlotte FSC certified. And that way we can actually trace anything that we're saying is FSC certified all the way from the forest to our production floor and out the door. That should give you a lot of confidence in knowing that when you are pushing a product from us, that you can be confident that what we're saying is true, that we've done the work, done all that hard work in the background to make you feel comfortable in pushing that, and knowing that if a client does come back at you for more information, that you can get it, and that you're going to be confident in selling it. Because we want you spending your time, selling and growing your business, not worrying about, the certification and making sure that the product that you're pushing is safe and certified.
Thanks, AJ. Okay, so real quick, as we wrap up, P and Liz, you guys both work on new products long before any of the rest of us get to see them. And I know this group would probably love to hear about anything new and exciting that is coming up.
Yeah, so Kate, we do actually have a couple new products coming really soon in new sustainable materials. We have a cactus leather and stationery with the introduction of the cactus leather bound journal book. That'll be launching in June. It's a premium sustainable vegetable leather derived from 30% cactus particles, which comes from ground up cactus leaves, and 70% bio-PU. It also features the FSC Mix certified paper. And in April, we'll be launching our very first recycled stainless steel with the Clean Canteen TKY 20-ounce twist cap in 90% post-consumer recycled stainless steel. It's one of their most popular silhouettes, and each bottle will have a 90% recycled steel icon engraved on the bottle. And as AJ pointed out earlier, Clean Canteen is both climate neutral and a certified B Corporation. So the product development team has some other new materials launching later this year as well, and we'll continue to keep you apprised of those as we get closer to those launch dates. And we just continue to incorporate more and more sustainable materials, details, trims, hardware, and packaging options across all categories and price points.
Thanks, Liz. P, anything else? P, I think you're on mute.
I am so sorry.
That's okay. This is the world we all live in.
Yeah, we sure do. Okay, I'll go back again. Sorry about that. When we first started our sustainable journey many years ago, what was available to us was very limited, and in many cases cost prohibitive, which with each subsequent season, more and more has become available, which is a real indicator of how important sustainability has become globally. To demonstrate this kind of progress that has been made and what's come available in sustainable fabrics, we will be launching our spring collection over this weekend. And within Trimark, we will have 2 new fabrics, which we're very excited to introduce to you. First up is Argus. Argus is our lightweight sustainable fleece. It has a beautiful buttery soft hand made with BCI cotton and recycled polyester. For anyone familiar with BCI, it stands for the Better Cotton Initiative, which is a global nonprofit organization whose mandate is not only to improve the livelihood of the farmers who produce it, but to also reduce the environmental impact on its production. Next up is Rigi. It is made with cotton recycled polyester, double knit, which is shown in the call out of the slide. The outer face has an almost PK look to it, while the back face is a micro mesh look. Between the fabrics and the styling, we're demonstrating how wide-ranging the application can be, since this style can be worn everywhere, anywhere from business to recreational environments. Both fabrics illustrate that there's no limit to where we can go with sustainability, and we're really excited about that.
Thanks, P. I love that piece. Talk about versatility. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for all the great insights. I'm hoping that our customers got a lot of great information there. So with that, I'm going to pass this over to Emily Douglas, our regional sales manager, to talk more about selling solutions.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. Thank you so much for everybody for spending your hour with us today. I can't thank you enough. Our great product development team you heard from earlier spend so much time and energy developing products to bring to market, and really, it's our job to teach you how to sell it and teach you how to bring it to market and provide you with the resources. So I'm going to talk a little bit about today why eco is important and where to find those resources, as well as provide some of these case studies that you know and love. So why is eco important to your customer? And it really should be worded, it's important to your end user, right? So as we look at the US sustainability market, it will hit over $150 billion in sales this year, which means that when we survey consumers, 80% of consumers are willing to, purchase sustainability, and it's valuable and it's important to them, right? Over 70% of the respondents would pay 35% more for eco-friendly. So as we talk about eco-friendly, I want you to take home today that eco-friendly does not necessarily equate with more expensive, but your participants and your customers would pay more for those products. So as we look at some of the selling strategies of how to bring eco to your customers, we hear all the time, look, I work with a customer, it may be important, but it may not be as well. And we've got to learn how to combat this and figure out how to find unique ways to bring sustainability to the market. So many of your companies work with do have sustainability initiatives. The easiest way to find this is by visiting their website. They spend a lot of money, time, energy, and effort, just as we do, and you do, developing these corporate social responsibility strategies, and they want to market that to their customers and their employees front and center. So they make sure to put that on their website. They also invest heavily in their sustainability efforts and want to market their progress. And then also what it means for your end user is how to define that. So we recognize that some companies have a full social responsibility or sustainable initiative within their company, and the sustainable product and message makes sense. Yet we also realize that some are on their journey. So does this mean a portion of their product spend be in the sustainability factor? That's something that we can help measure. Your field sales manager, can help measure through data and analytics. How much of their spend is eco or sustainable? This is an interesting thing as we talk about not only the percent of products, but also as we measure in percentage of dollars. So as we look at customers that may not have a corporate social responsibility initiative, they may very well be interested in the cause marketing component. And that's something that I'm proud of PCNA for developing, all of the sustainability products that we sell contribute to that 1% for the planet partnership. So you may not have opportunity with somebody who's dying to get a sustainable product in their hands, but they want to make a good contribution to the world. And this is a great platform to do it through the 1% for the planet. As we look at some of the case studies and how sustainable fits, we will look at a study from the automotive industry where an automotive company came to their distributor and needed a wearable for a convention in Vegas. Because of their sustainability initiative, this fit right in. So we were able to source for that distributor over 1,000 polos with our Amos Eco short sleeve polo. So not only were we able to fulfill that through our deep inventory, it also won the distributor a 2-year partnership with this particular polo. So because of our product development team and being able to source materials and products that not only look good and feel good, it's eco, which was a huge plus to this particular end user. And it ended up being over a $19,000 net order. As we look at our next case study, also from the automotive industry, they were looking for a gift, and their sustainability initiative is significant, and they were recognizing over 7,000 brand ambassadors. They wanted to provide them a gift with a give back story, so pertaining to that cause marketing that we just talked about. And the solution here was a recycled PET plaid inversion umbrella. So we had deep inventory, but the end user was not even aware that a category like umbrellas really even had a sustainable option in it. So, they were aware of sustainable bags and sustainable clothing. But as you look at PCNA's category assortment, they were able to find something unique and applicable to this particular gifting opportunity. The distributor was able to fulfill over 7,000 units for an $88,000 net order, which congratulations to that distributor. That's a fantastic order. And we were able to utilize a 3-week quick turn time for all 7,000 umbrellas. And the bonus for here, tying back to that cause marketing, over $880 were donated to 1% for the planet, back to our 2 nonprofits, One Tree Planet and Well Aware. And then the last case study we'll look at is from the finance and banking industry. So the end user was looking to gift an inexpensive item to their store owners. They needed a deep inventoried item, and because of their turn time, it required a domestic fulfillment. So we were able to source from our bullet selection of eco items, the SM3468 spiral notebook with pen. Because it was a valued price item that had deep inventory, we were able to deliver over 100,000 units, totaling $114,000 in net sales on a rush. So the order, the distributor was able to come to us and say, look, I need this on a tight turn. And we were able to deliver all 100,000 units in less than a month. So as we look at these case studies and recognize, okay, this is really cool, but where do I find this on PCNA's website? How do I get this information to my customer? We have plenty of tools available on PCNA.com. So we've got a landing page that you're able to go to on PCNA.com, as well as digital lookbooks, customizable flyers where you can easily customize your company's name, your information, your phone number, click and easily save as a PDF or marketing material that you can send out. We also have images ready to download, so you can create virtuals, include on your websites and so forth, as well as many more. We also have, on the website, we want to highlight not only the products, but really all of the certifications and what they mean. So what is FSC certified? What does that mean? And that third-party credibility and educating your customer is truly key. So all of that information is housed on PCNA.com. Also on PCNA.com is we really create a self-service environment for you to be able to quickly go and get information, retrieve it, and turn for a quicker sales cycle. We look at things like customizable sales tools. So I mentioned flyers that you can download, insert your own information. You also can retrieve accurate product quotes. So everything from item cost to decoration cost, as well as creating easy lifelike virtuals. So from PCNA.com, when you're logged in, you can create that virtual, upload the artwork, get a quote right there and then, as well as check order status for any orders that you may have in-house, and utilize the live chat feature. So if you're like myself, you don't like to pick up the phone and call, we have that easy live chat feature ready to go on the website. So you can quickly communicate back and forth, whether it's a product question, decoration question, quote question, or even about an in-house order. And with that, Kate, I believe I'm flipping it back to you. Thank you again for everyone. I appreciate it. One last thing. Thank you again for attending our webinar. Your field sales manager will be reaching out to you about a sample of your choice from this specific webinar. So stay tuned, more to come on that.
Thanks, Em. Okay, so before we move on to questions, just want to make sure everybody is aware of some upcoming sessions that we have, so you can save the date. March 23rd, we're going to do Meet the Brands. We have Dale and Halana. Fantastic. It'll be really interesting. They bring so much insight into this topic. Continuing then on April 6th, we have Karsten Clean Canteen. You heard Liz Tracy talk a little bit about Clean Canteen earlier, and I can tell you I have some of their products. Definitely worth coming and listening to these guys. And then on April 21st, we will have an Earth Week special event. So much more to come around that, but it will be very exciting. So I think at this point, we're going to flip to question and answer. Holly, am I good to go?
You're good. Yes, absolutely. More to come on that special event, and we want to hear from all of you. So as usual, please type your questions in. I know I've seen several of them that have been being answered by the team here already throughout the presentation, but please, you've got the team here. So any questions that are on your mind, fire away.
Great. I think we have our first question. AJ, you're on the spot. We have a question is, we have a client who can't use leather. So when you say cactus leather, is that leather or just an acronym for such?
Yeah, no, we've got a couple questions about that. It is a bit confusing, but the word leather kind of denotes that, outer main material. And when it's denoted as cactus leather or mushroom leather, it's really mentioning that it's a vegan alternative to an animal product. So kind of a cactus leather isn't actually using, a cow to actually create the leather. It's actually utilizing parts from the plant that's crushed down and then actually formed into that material that we traditionally think of as leather. So yeah, so whether it's cactus leather or, bio leather or something like that, it's usually denoting that it's not made from an animal product. Good question.
Thanks for clarifying that. I didn't know that either. Okay, question for Holly. So eco products can be expensive. How, some folks want to know, how can they convince their customers they're worth it?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple things there. One is that this is definitely where the market is going, right? And so when I think back to eco products from my professional career, years ago when companies, were launching them, it was sort of what's more important, the green for the eco or the green about the dollar? And it was always this, fight between the two. And now what we're seeing is that we're able to design and create, as you've heard from our panelists today, some really great sustainable brands that don't hurt the pocket like they used to. That are actually very cost competitive. And so it's a win from a cost perspective, and it's a win for the environment. So I think, that is certainly, one aspect of it. And I think another is just, the direction that we're going, where we're bringing, more socially responsible and sustainable brands going forward. It's going to continue to be a huge percentage of our overall portfolio. It's our company focus. And as shared with the video, earlier in the presentation today, I mean, this is the direction that we want to be taking a leadership position in, and we look for all of your feedback and partnering with all of you on that effort.
Thanks, Holly. Actually, you led right perfectly into the next question. So I'm going to toss this one over to AJ. AJ, what's your best guess around sort of percent of total of products that will be eco-based 5 years from now? Where are we going?
Quite the gambling question. So I can give you some examples now and talk about development, and Liz and Priscilla gave great insight into that. When you look at a category like bags, because that's kind of my world, over 90% of everything we're launching right now has some sort of sustainability story. So whether that's, some of the premium brands or some of the value product out of our bullet line, almost everything that we're launching right now is launching as a sustainability, has some sort of sustainability story. So I'm not going to necessarily say, a certain percentage, but I think if you look at a category, especially cut and sew categories, my guess is it's going to be, 75%. It's going to be a good portion of that, just for the simple fact there are better options out there, and we need to start using those better options. And you look at a category like drinkware, now seeing these available materials like recycled steel or Triton Renew become more readily available, I think you're going to see some pretty big increases in that area too. Even though those products are already eco-friendly because they're better than one-use plastic and disposable plastic, I think you're going to continue to see a lot of progress in the materials that are used in these categories.
So I think what I'm hearing you say is that our commitment's there, and the sky's the limit.
Absolutely. Like look at stationery right now with the FSC certified paper, and covers almost everything that we're launching in that category already has a same sustainability story.
Thanks, AJ. So Holly, question is, with ProudPath, what does that mean for my customers who aren't as concerned about the environment or being socially responsible?
Yeah, well, I would say if they're not today, they probably will be tomorrow, because again, this is where the market is going. And so, you guys are all getting a sneak peek of the path that we're on, pun intended, as we move forward with ProudPath. And we're super excited to, share the campaign with you all over the course of the next several weeks. And so I think it's really incumbent upon us to partner together and, get that end user rowing in the same direction, because there's a lot of opportunity out there that we're seeing. And I think that, we're poised and ready to be able to help, partner with you to provide the best solutions there.
Thanks, Holly. Okay, I think we have time for a couple more questions. Emily, what are some of the hot giveaways for trade shows this year?
Yay. No, that's a great question, right? And I think it goes back to the point about, is eco expensive? And the short answer is no, it's not, because we have an array of product under that $5 price point at Bullet Line that is eco-friendly, deep inventoried. And so where I see a ton of momentum are in products like the SM3484 in the notebook, where you've got several little jotter style notebooks. As well as the SM5830. The other thing I'll say is, as in-person events pick back up, we also recognize that there's also a fair amount of events that are still virtual. And so looking for something inexpensive, we've got a great dropship program at Bullet, as well as leads if you're trying to get a sustainable option directly to that trade show participant's home. So we have an option both for bulk shipments to those trade shows in person, as well as drop shipping directly to people's homes.
Thanks. Fantastic answer. Okay, so I'm going to throw this one out there. In terms of recyclable materials, are there more decorating restrictions when ordering products made from those materials? Or is it really more of a product by product deal? So I'm going to say, AJ, P, what are your thoughts there?
I can talk a little bit about this in terms of my world and some of the hard goods categories. We make sure that as we're sourcing these materials, again, this goes back to the amazing work that this team has done, is sourcing materials that we can decorate, because that is a bit of a nuance with this industry that is different than, say, retail, is that we do have to put a lot of effort into those materials, into the coatings that we use, to make sure that, they're not requiring, specific inks that are worse for the environment or something like that. So everything that we have, we do put through rigorous testing before we launch to make sure that they can be, can be silk screened or transferred, to make sure the material can be, embroidered. So yeah, it's definitely more challenging with some of those materials, but they definitely go through a lot of testing and development to make sure that we can offer as many decorating options as possible.
I agree with AJ, because like every single season when we start development, we go through every process that we could, and all the extensive testing that we do, just to make sure that whatever we're launching, it's actually going to hold up and stand out, obviously for our customers' expectations. So yeah, lots we put into it.
Thanks, guys. This one's near and dear and on everyone's mind. Inventory. AJ, how's the inventory in our eco products?
Get all the fun ones. Inventory is great. I mean, that is one thing I will say is, we talked about accessibility, and inventory is a big part of that, is making sure that we do have options across every product. And I'd wager right now that if you go on our deep inventory tab and go to our website, click on that and start scrolling, you will see a lot of eco products, whether they're recycled or vegan leather, FSC certified. You will see a lot. And I know that for sure because the one item I had mentioned, the recycled cotton tote, I was just looking at the other day because we have 130,000 on hand right now. I believe 200,000 on order, and we're questioning if we have enough based on current trends. So yeah, the investment is there. A lot of great options with deep inventory.
That's great. Okay, I think, Holly, we're coming up on the end of our time. I think I'm going to pass it over to you. But before I do, I just want to say thank you to everyone for your attendance today. An hour is a lot of time out of people's schedules right now, so we really appreciate you spending the time with us. And I really want to thank these incredible panelists, guys. I know I learned a lot today too.
You guys taught me a lot today as well, so thank you. Appreciate that. And thanks to all of you, our customers, for spending an hour of your time with us today. As always, tomorrow morning, you should receive an email from the Plugged In that'll have actually a link to the landing page where you can find a recording of today's session and all of the previous webinars that we've done. So look for your FSM to reach out to you as well on those sample kits, and we appreciate all your engagement today. Thanks so much, and I hope everyone has a great afternoon. Bye-bye.